Yeah, it was all going fine until last March. I had a massive bleed. Blue light to hospital. The It's frightening saying to this like to other people who've got the disease, but the consultant did start saying, "I don't think we can do anything for you." Um, I did explain to him. He knew I was part of the knack scene, so to speak, and I did explain what the standard, what the knack treatment would be. Um, and he came back to me the following day and said, "Right, here's the plan. We'll start you on the antifungals, and we'll do arrange embolization if it doesn't stop." So that's now down on my records. I'm his only patient, which is goes to the problems. Fortunately, he's a great guy, and he knew me. But yeah, that led to obviously the Aspergillosis. The CPA had gone from producing fungal ball to cavitating, which of course doesn't show on X-rays, and it was found on the CT scan while I was in hospital. And then it's yeah, okay, the bleeding stopped, settled down, discharged, following up by a home oxygen assessment. And yeah, they decided I need ambulatory oxygen. The best part of pulmonary rehab is listening to the lectures that the respiratory physios give you. So you do an hour's mild circuit training with weights and various bits and pieces. Then you usually have an hour lecture. The mechanisms of breathing, correct breathing techniques,
Mm.
things like that, just general aspects of living with a progressive condition. And that's very beneficial. Uh, 10 minutes with a respiratory physio on how to breathe correctly and the huffing technique is wonderful. Um, Again, it's recognizing that most people shallow breathe. If someone takes a deep breath in, up go the shoulders, that is shallow breathing.
Mm.
Because when you take a deep breath in, your stomach should come out, where you're putting your diaphragm down, and it's learning diaphragm breathing. And looking at the exercises that a good physio will teach you, and practicing it, it becomes your normal breathing. I had my last chat with the consultant. He had as usual, a student in there. Always tends to have students when I'm there, and he's very good. So he's explaining this to the student about my um, what I've got wrong. When he pulls up my very first X-ray he took back from 2013, and to do a direct comparison with my latest X-ray, and he points it all out to the student. The same with the CT scan. So the student's getting all the technical details on the scans, and I'm sitting there listening. I thought, oh, that's what oh, yeah, okay. But he did tell the student, he said, social isolation is the thing to watch when you've got major respiratory issues, because people can't walk very far because they get out of breath so quick. They tend not to go out. A lot of people won't take a walker with them. They won't use a mobility scooter. Therefore, they're missing out. And he said that's something to be aware of. when you're talking to patients and things like that. Because the student I was carrying the concentrator. He was looking at us and he wanted to say, "What's that?" And the consultant picked up on it. She said, "That's a portable oxygen concentrator, as opposed to carrying an oxygen bottle." Student didn't know anything about oxygen concentrators, so he found out about it. It's good though that the consultant was actually. This is it's the social things that people suffer. The most important thing is having a good supportive partner and supportive people around you. Our little group, we've got a WhatsApp group. We communicate via WhatsApp on a regular basis. Anyone suddenly in hospital, it's a case of, "Ooh, why? What's gone wrong?" sort of thing. So everyone's there. The one recommendation is a mixed ailments group. The hospice had a drop-in day where all their patients could go in on a Monday. It was open almost all day. Read papers, drink tea, coffee, do jigsaws, and do arts and crafts. And a lot of people were making what they call a memory book, which is it's a scrapbook of your personal history that you leave behind after you've gone. So a lot of people were making those. I was a bit light on the photos. Family history meant I didn't have any family photos. But you're meeting with a bunch of people, and although you're sitting there around a table or chatting with a group of other people, you know they're all in the same boat you are. You don't talk about your diseases. Now, social services have a person for every community area who has a list of all the contacts of all the clubs, things that people can go and do, whether you're disabled or not. They generally tend to be knit and natter and luncheon clubs and things like this, and it's all very well sitting in the corner of the luncheon club and they're all stuffing their face and you can't eat very much, and they're all talking about which cruise they're doing this year and their holidays, and you think, well, actually, because you can't do all that sort of thing, you're a bit weird. We just have a good time, but it's that social contact. Be able to sit and talk to people, and knowing that they all know that there's something wrong with you. They don't care what it is, as long as you're all right at the moment. And that's highly to be recommended. It's the mindfulness, it's the mental attitude, and it's yes, if the pills don't work, then well, here's the tablet, off you go. Which is what I was told when they moved me over to the hospice. The NHS can't cure you, so we'll park you somewhere else for management of your condition. But then the hospice can't do it anymore because they're not haven't got the budgets and the resources to start doing anything like that. So we have to do it ourselves. Anyway, so a group of us, we hire a church hall. We put our own little group together. At the moment, we're called Creative Health. There are a lot of people there who do not like the technology.
Yeah.
Or they do not want to do face-to-face. We try and tell them, well, you don't have to. You can turn your camera off. You can just listen if you like, or you can talk if you want to. We don't mind. But it's plucking up the courage to actually get on and do it, which is I think quite a few have done, and they realising, well, actually, there is benefit in doing this. But if you've got a condition like this, then learning about it, finding out about it. But yeah, it's all the things. It's things that all the things. Yeah, okay, no regrets. Can't do it anymore. Just look at something else.
Yeah.
And it's looking at other ways of doing things.
Yeah.
I used to walk up the post office to post the wife's letters. Now I jump on the scooter. There is a way of doing these things. But yes, life is livable. Just look at it in a different way. Don't dwell on the past. Think of the future. Don't say, I can't do that. And you think, well, how can I do that? And very often, okay, might have to pay for someone to come and clean the gutters out. Might have to pay for someone to come and cut the hedge. But it's things you have to adapt to. But because you're not going on holidays anymore, it means you're not spending money on your holiday. You're spending money on doing the things you can't do yourself. Everything is delivered. Our shopping's all delivered. Hotline to Amazon. No more traipsing around supermarkets, things like that. Well, started with the Zimmer frame, and then there was the walker. Then you really start realising that progressive lung conditions have taken their toll. And you have to start adjusting everything to a new way of life. Oxygen bottles and mobility scooters. We've just given up our caravan. We had a static caravan. We've had to give that up because it's all gas. And it's quite a confined space, and there's no way to go safely to a caravan with a gas cooker, and you're needing oxygen. Just not a safe environment. So we, but but you give up one thing and you find something else to replace it. We are heavily into crafts. Currently making a radio controlled car kit.
Cool.
Did make one many years ago. My kids used to go racing radio controlled cars. Youngsters. I was chief mechanic. So yeah, I got one. So it's various model kits, crystallite, diamond painting, which version you want to use. But it's finding little things. You've got a jigsaw going on the go. Set up on a board in the kitchen, on the kitchen end of the kitchen table. There's a jigsaw sitting there. When it's warm enough to sit in the kitchen, then I can go and do a bit of that. It's lots of bits and pieces with little things here, there, and everywhere. We don't dwell on what we can't do anymore. It's important to keep a positive look at everything. Many an hour spent watching video clips on YouTube. Go around the coastal path of Cornwall and Scotland, all the places we wanted to go to. We just look them up on YouTube. you just search memory seekers in YouTube. And the one we like at the moment, another one we like is Gimbal Walk TV. And the gimbal mean the self-leveling device you put your phone on. Gimbal Walks TV. He does some very good. The memory seekers, they've done a lot of the historic places,
Mm.
and they do a running commentary, and they're very good. The Gimbal Walks, he puts captions on the screen. He tends not to talk. But apart from doing all the seaside places in the UK and all the popular, did all the Christmas markets this year. He's just done Luxor and the Valley of the Kings, which is fascinating in comparison to the standard professional broadcast. You got professional ones, they're showing you around a tomb or something like that. But he's on the bus. He's arrived at the entrance to the site. Then you got to get a shuttle bus from the entrance to whichever tomb you're going to. And he's filming the bus as you go along through the desert. That's what we do. Another one is Hannah Ricketts. So she'll do the Fulton and Mason's Christmas display, Harrods. It's never a case of I can't do that. It's a case of how can I do that? And that's the sort of mindset. If you want to survive with a progressive long-term condition, you have to adjust to it.